Good morning, sir. Myself, Dr. Subhashin Verma, Principal Scientific Officer Chemistry, working in the Chemistry Division and working as a government.
Good morning to all. I am Dr. Jayanti, Principal Scientific Officer in Pharmacognosy section and working as a government analyst.
Myself, Dr. Vijay Gupta, Principal Scientific Officer, Ayurveda.
Good morning, all of you. Myself, Dr. R.K. Pawar, Assistant Chemistry.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Shivani, working as domain expert homeopathy.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Shazia, domain expert Unani in PCIMH.
Good morning, one and all. Myself, Dr. Yashika, and I'm working as an Ayurveda domain expert.
Good morning. I am Dr. Dushpal Singh, working as a project consultant in chemistry department. Thank you.
Namaskar. I am Dr. Nikhil Jirankalgekar, Scientific Officer, Ayurveda.
Good morning. I am Dr. Vijay Kumar, Scientific Officer, Siddha, PCH.
Good morning, sir. Dr. Ramachandran, Scientific Officer, Pharmacology, PCH.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Nitin Rai, Scientific Officer Pharmacognosy.
Good morning. Myself, Dr. Anupam Maurya, Scientific Officer, Chemistry.
Dr. Ramesh, Scientific Officer, Microbiology.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Wahab from Kerala. I'm working as a quality controller at Medicine and Naturals.
Good morning. I'm Divya Achwarya, coming from Cortical Ayurvedashala, working as an executive quality chemist.
Good morning. I'm Seena, working at Cortical Ayurvedashala as Assistant Manager Microbiology.
Good morning, all. I am Honi Yalu from Arunachal Pradesh. I am working as scientific officer in chemistry. Thank you.
I am Kiran, Panchagama Director of Data Organics.
Good morning, good afternoon, all. First of all, I want to give the thanks to our today's chief guest, Shri Sunil Sarma sir, and also both of our speaker, Dr. Prakash Joshi sir and Dr. Karuna Shankar sir, to be here today. And as you know that from the last 2 years, we have started these type of training programs to the stakeholders. And previously, we have given the trainings only to the drug inspectors and government analysts of the Ayush system. But now we have opened for the other stakeholders, like for academic persons and also to the quality control persons from the different private stakeholders. So maybe today 5 plus more 6 or 7 total 13 trainees is going to be trained in this program. So till now, I think in last 2 years, this was the 11th program. 10th program already we have conducted in the institute. And sir, before starting, I know that time is very less. Today already we are very late. So I just show you some activities of the institute, sir, so that these trainees also get know that what are the functioning of this institute and what we are doing here. So I will do this presentation as fast as I can. Next, please. Sir, previously we have 2 laboratories, PLM, that is Pharmacopoeial Laboratory for Indian Medicines, and another is Homeopathic Pharmacopoeial Laboratory as a subnet office under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare since 1970 and 75. Just in the area of CGO complex to Hapurchungi on rent basis. And in 2007, these 2 laboratories are shifted into here in 2 buildings. And later on, one commission of autonomous formed in 2010, that is Pharmacopoeial Commission for Indian Medicine. And homeopathy was added in 2014 in that autonomous institute. But after separating the Ayush Ministry from the Health Ministry, and they have decided to merge all these 3 institutes into subunit office, HPL and PLM, along with the autonomous PCIMH, and now it is a subunit office under the Ayush Ministry, Government of India. And sir, previously also this PLM and HPL was the central laboratories, means working as a central drug laboratory for the testing purposes also. And now all the mandate is gone to the PCIMH. Next, please. We are here at Pocket 1, sir, which was previously the HPL building, and the Pocket 2 is the PLM building. We have 3 campuses, sir. The third one is of also the our herbal garden, which is very old plants when we will visit after this program, sir. Next. Our vision is to be a nodal agency for establishing the quality standards for these drugs of Indian system of medicine and homeopathy. When we call Indian system of medicine means Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and but also in the last years, SOVA is added in that. Our mission is to formulate the quality standards for these ISM and homeopathy, and also act as a central drug laboratory for these traditional medicines. Next. Our objective is to develop these quality. So likewise, our 3 objectives. One is the development of quality standards for these traditional medicines, pharmacopoeias, and formularies. 3 formularies we are developing. A for Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani, and 4 pharmacopoeias for ASU&H. And time to time, the revised and amend these publication of these 5 pharmacopoeia and formulary, and also the compare for these traditional medicines, pharmacopoeia and formularies. And the second one is we are working as a apex laboratory for these as a central drug testing laboratory, and also to impart the capacity building training programs for the drug regulatory authorities and the personal quality control of these detection system medicines, and also to nurture and promote the awareness for these quality assurance programs in this area. And another third one is to maintain the repositories for reference raw materials and also for reference chemical marker compounds. Next. Our organization charts, you can see that we have having administration and scientific and technical wing, and different sections like Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Homeopathy, and also in pharmacology we have repositories, museum, herbarium, and medicinal plant garden. In chemistry also we have the sophisticated instrumentation, repositories for chemical substances, then wet laboratory, and also two another sections, microbiology and pharmacology we have in this pocket. A part of them we have other cells like R&D cells, qualitational cells, training cells, and IT cells, etc. Next. Total, sir, we have about 6.5 hectare land. You can say the 18-acre land, or in which already I have told that in pocket 1 we have chemistry, microbiology, pharmacology, and pharmacology sections. In pocket 2 we have the phytochemistry museum and herbarium. And total out of this 6.5 hectare, we have more than 8,000 square meter as a total build-up area. And also we have 3 medicinal plant garden. One is just behind of this, which have the homeopathic plants of the species, which are very exotic species of German plants. And also the second one in the pocket 2 for ASU drugs, and the third one is the medicinal plant garden. Next. As far as resources concerned, we have the instrumentation like UPLC, ICP, OES, GC, MS also, GC, MS also, and also for pharmacognosy, different digital microscopes, DNA fingerprint, PCR for DNA fingerprinting, etc. Next. So our major 4 services are for acting as a serial for these traditional medicines, to publish our pharmacopoeia and formularies, and impart the capacity building training programs, and maintaining the BRS, that is botanical reference substances, and PRS, that is phytochemical reference substances. Next. So, which I have already told that previously only we have given the trainings to the drug inspectors and government, but now we have opened for these other manufacturers also and for academia also. And in the last training programs, different CEO and general managers and vice presidents are also attended the programs of our these training programs. Next. So we have, sir, for publication of for these pharmacopoeia and formulas, we have 4 subcommittees. One for Ayurveda, that is APSC. Likewise for Siddha Pharmacopoeia subcommittee, Unani Pharmacopoeia subcommittee, and Homeopathy Pharmacopoeia subcommittee. And all the matters which is discussed and finalized will go to our Pharmacopoeia committee, that is PC. And finally, our scientific advisory board cleared all this matter to be published in the pharmacopoeias and in the formularies. Next. So already I have told, sir, 4 pharmacopoeia, one for Ayurveda, another for Siddha, then as UPI, and also HPI. The pharmacopoeia we have published 4 pharmacopoeias and 3 formulas for Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani. Next. A part of them, we have also published 3 atlas or 2 atlas for HPTLC chromatograms, TLC chromatograms, and also the third one is macro and microscopic atlas for our pharmacology point of view for our pharmacopoeia atlas, which are already in the as a part of different API part 1 or in part 2. Next. So the standards which we have developed, the monographs, the organoleptic properties of any plant has to be covered by the color or the taste textures we have provided in that standards. For pharmacognostic characters, macroscopy and microscopy and powder features are given in the monograph. And also for physicochemical parameters, foreign matters, moistures, ash, acid, and solubilities, and other for qualitative and quantitative purposes, the different chromatographic techniques like TLC, HPTLC, or GC, or HPLC we have used and provided in the standards. We have also taken care of the other safety limits like heavy metals, aflatoxins, microbial load, or pesticide residue, etc. Next. These are pictures from the laboratory where we have digital microscope in the pharmacy sections. Next, for botanical identification. And for the powder microscopy, these type of pictures we have provided in the standards in our atlas also. Next. Like for pharmacognostic identification, different sections and regions of the plant, like cortex or tannins, what are the features of that powder microscopy that we have provided in the standards. Next. Likewise, for HPTLC chromatograms, we have provided in our TLC atlas. Next. Also the illustration of HPTLC, we have two HPTLC of CAMEC, even three HPTLC in the institutes. And these type of chromatograms we have provided in our pharmacopoeial monographs nowadays. Next. For the purpose of pesticidal residues, we have GCMS for the purpose of testing also and for developing our standards and monographs also. Next. We have ICPOS for testing the heavy metals like mercury, calcium, cadmium, and lead and arsenic, etc. Next. For the aflatoxins, we have given the limits as per the guidelines of the WHO for B1, B2, and G2. Next. And for microbial contamination, the same limits which is provided in the WHO International Pharmacopoeia as per their guidelines, we have provided in our pharmacopoeial monographs also, and also the absence of different pathogens like Staphylococcus, Salmonella, Pseudomonas, E. coli, etc. Next. So, sir, WHO guidelines says that any monograph, any standard for this traditional medicine should be well documented in traditional use. Standardization should be based on the chemical markers, activity profile should be given, and the medicinal plant should be free from the pesticide, free medicines, etc. And the safety measures has to be taken care of. So, likewise, already we have published our Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India Part 1, 1 May and 9, which are at par with the any other international pharmacopoeia. Next, you can see that all the requirement as per the WHO international pharmacopoeia or European pharmacopoeia are at par with them, except the radioactive residue. Next. Some latest achievements are, you can see that first time it was happened that last year when overseas recognition that Swissmedic agency, that is the regulatory agency in the Switzerland in Europe, they have recognized our Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, which were previously published in 2007, in 2007 till 2017, and more than 40 API monographs, means plant monographs, more than 200 compound formation monographs, and about 1,000 of formulary monographs get recognized by them. Already nearby countries, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, they are using our these Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, and the dialogue is going on with other countries like Malaysia, Singapore, UAE, Serbia, Switzerland, etc. Next. First time over these all four pharmacopoeias and three formularies which were published since last 20 years get the place in the WHO index of the world pharmacopoeias. So anyone can from the world, they can know that how many pharmacopoeias and formularies and what are in that. They are published by the India in the field of traditional medicines. Next. So 2 years ago, we have accredited by the ISO 17025 through NABL, and just last Saturday, Sunday, yesterday and day before yesterday, again, it is going to be continued for next 4 years also with some minor NCs, which we are going to correct very soon. So all our laboratories, not only the pharmacognosy laboratory, but chemistry and microbiology, all the three laboratories are now already our NABL accredited, that is ISO for ISO 170 for testing laboratories. Next. First time in the Ayush Ministry, sir, we are the first institute who got this IMS certificate. That's integrated management systems, having the QMS, environmental management systems 14001, and also OHMSS, that is 45001. And now secretaries are told to other institutes also to get recognized these IMS certification by Bureau of Indian Standards. They have for different audit, they passed our institute as an integrated management system certification. Next, please. These are the pictures of their certificates for all three. Next. First time, sir, you know that we are the first which we are providing the online portal of selling of our pharmacopoeial monographs. So anyone from the world can take this is our monograph in just 50 rupees by paying by their mobile or by their credit card or debit card. You can purchase by 50 rupees. Next. First time also we have last year issued 2 notification for these amendment lists in the case of Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India and Ayurvedic Formulary. And very soon, maybe in this month, we are going to release another list in this year also. We have signed the MOU for the purpose of which already I have told you and discussed that very soon we are going to sign the MOU with the CMAP Lucknow, with Karuna Shankar sir, and also NBRI Lucknow with the proposal is with the NIPER Mohali is received here, and from the IRL Jammu, which is in the pipeline, and very soon, maybe in the next month, we are going to sign another 4 MOUs with different universities and institutes. Next. So, sir, these are some pictures for our capacity building training programs, which we have conducted for drug analysts, drug manufacturers, and also to the different stakeholders to understand and educate these stakeholders regarding the standardization and quality control of Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and homeopathy. And half day we have given to them the lectures, 2 or 3 lectures, sir, and then half day hands-on training program is provided to these trainees. Next. Students continuously visiting to us. This slide is, I think, very old, but till now, sir, thousands of students, or 2,000 students, you can see, along with their staff, they have visited from different colleges. I think more than 50 to 70 colleges. It is not only from homeopathy, but also from the Ayurveda colleges. Next. Just 2 years ago, we have conducted this international training program for which 23 participants from 9 countries, they have came to us and taken this 3 days hands-on training program in the November. And recently, just in December last month, we have conducted training programs for BTech institutes also. And these are the some pictures from the 5 days in international training program which we have conducted for Philippines Institute, that BTech Institute, that is Philippines Institute of Traditional and Integrative Healthcare. And 6 scientific staff, they came to us and taken this hands-on training program. Next. International visit, I have gone just last year to this BTech institutes, and already their scientists came to us and visited in this institute and taken the hands-on training. Next. Sir, Dr. Rudy Eggers, when they came to ministry also, they visited this institute also along with Dr. Pradeep Dua, and they wanted that we have the potential to make this institute as a collaborative center for the WHO, not only for the quality control purpose, but also for the training purpose. So we have given this proposal to the ministry also, to WHO through ministry, that yes, we are ready for that purpose. Next. At the time of COVID-19 outbreak, we have published these 6 standards, that is 3 for pharmacopoeial and 3 formulary monographs of Ayush Patha Churna, Ayush Kutira Churnam, and Ayush Safi Joshanda. Next. Under the seminar and symposium from the last 2 years, we have conducted different workshops in the area of homeopathy also, Ayurveda also, and till now I think more than 60 workshops and seminars which we have conducted in the institutes. Next. We'll see, sir, after this program, the India's, I think, oldest raw drug museum of homeopathy, where you can see that not only the botanicals, but also the different chemicals and even the animals used in the for developing these drugs and medicines for the homeopathy also. And all are the QR based that by your mobile you can see the other information of regarding that standards and plant also. Next. Likewise, sir, which I have told that we have just behind of this building a exotic garden for this endemic and exotic species of homeopathic plants. So from them we have developed our germplasm bank, and more than 100 seeds are available with us, and we have started selling of these seeds. seats also through our website. Next. Under the work, we have given two projects by the NMPV, National Mission Plant Board. And one is for that RRDR for Gigantic Plan region, having the state UP, Bihar, and West Bengal. Until now, about 50% work we have already done and provided to them all the monographs and the standards which we have developed. And when we will visit this repository, you can see the progress of that. Next. And our team of this RRDR, they have developed one software which is using by all the RRDRs in the country. Next. We have given one responsibility, sir, just 2 to 3 years ago, one harm and one standards to be developed, because one plant may be used either in the, not only in the Ayurveda, maybe in the Siddha, Unani or homeopathy also. So till now, we have already going to publish the 50 monographs of these OHOS very soon, which are under the printing. Next. These are some other publication which we are going to publish in this year. Already we have published the Siddha formulary. Another formula is going to publish in this month, and Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India is also in the printing. And very soon we are going to release this by the hand of our minister. We have invited him. And also in case of Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of India, it is also ready, sir. And maybe in the coming month, one Unani Pharmacopoeia and Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia is also going to publish in this year, which is our prime aim to be as a target of this year. Next. Already our scientists have published the different review articles and research papers in renowned journals of having a spring journaling. Next. Or by PubMed journals time to time. Next. So, sir, we are in the social media also, and whatever progress or happening is going in the institute, we have uploaded to the different social media also and on our website also. So anyone can visit and see the happening and also the activities of the institutes time to time. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Singh, it's my privilege to be here. Yeah, they have been inviting me. Really grateful that I could make it here and I could see the pioneering work which this institution is doing. In fact, PCIMH has a unique place in the overall landscape of traditional systems, Indian systems of medicine, be it Ayurveda, be it Siddha, be it Unani, be it homeopathy, of course, is not Indian system, but it's a traditional system in India. So in all these systems, PCIMH has a very, you can say, challenging role to play. And as I'm seeing that it's doing a great work in capacity building by way of training a huge number of technical personnel. Today also we have 5 of you from very esteemed organizations in India looking up to PCIMH to learn something in terms of standardization and quality control for these whichever system you may be coming from. So very great initiative on the part of PCIMH, which has been going on for quite some time now. With my when I visualize that in times to come, it is already started happening in a very big way. These Indian traditional systems of medicine, particularly Ayurveda, is going to really, because it's all herb based and all systems, whether it is homeopathy also, it is herb based primarily. So they would really have a major role to a major contribution to the overall health of the world. In different countries already, these herbs are very popular. Maybe in some countries they are not accepted as medicinal product, which is a challenge for the country, for all of you here. But in terms of herbs, in terms of nutraceuticals or purely herbs, those are very much accepted with good efficacies. So it's my pleasure to be here to kind of share my thought and to also learn from all of you. I'm here for a very short while, but I can see that the PCIMH team has been doing great work. Dr. Verma, Dr. Jayanti, and, Dr. Gupta, and the whole team here. You people are doing marvelous work here in terms of capacity building, in terms of monograph preparation, which is, but I find that when you talk of monograph, it's a huge task before the country. It's not just 1, 2, or 100 or 1,000, it's thousands of herbs or plants which are there for which you have to prepare. So I think the need of the hour would be collaboration with, I mean, had good opportunity to interact with Dr. Kripa Shankar while I was coming from Delhi. These people are Dr. Kripa Shankar and like people he's from your organization is called CMAC, CMAP, CMAP, CMAP and other organizations, government and beyond government, of course, the SIN itself, and then there are the universities. And I heard that even this Nipper Chandigarh, they're doing good work in plant. So there is need to really look for major collaboration with these organizations that can really boost overall outcome for the country as a whole. So that's what I was suggesting you, for which you are already working. I'm hopeful and would say best wishes to you in that endeavor also, because that's what is going to take you to the next level in terms of showing to the world, to reach a level where you can your own heritage you can really project, you can call it, create repository, and you can really bring it to a level which is really serves the world as a whole in terms of healthcare, whether it is preventive or whether curative as well. So I will not take much of the time. You have students who would be eager to learn from the expert here. I will not take much time. I only wish all the best to the institute and to the participants who have come in. I'm sure they will, in the process, learn and also enrich the institute because it's two-way learning. You have your own experience to talk, you have your own technical expertise to share. So with that, it's win-win situation learning for all of us. So with these, I thank you very much again, Mr. Singh, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I just forget to mention one thing that you know that we have already just a year ago proposed one G+4 building in our campus, so that we will get one state-of-the-art laboratory, so that for not for the our Indian stakeholders, but also to the world stakeholders, we can show that yes, what is the capacity in register system medicines also, like in our other area of pharmaceuticals, and as a because you know that it is a hub of pharma, which is called our country. So you know, sir, that because this building is very old, just more than 20, 25 years old building. So sir is playing a very key role, you know, for proposing all our this proposal to push in the ministry. So yes, sir. So still we needed your. So today you can see that plot also, that about 2,000 square meter where we can made propose this state of the art laboratory, and we know that with the help of you, proposal. Uh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even till now, what our DPR or what is meant, we have successful for getting all the documents from the HLL, that is heights, is only due to the server. So we have reached there. So again, we request him also, and wanted that it is the prime our requirement of this institute, so that one state of the art laboratory should be made. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for elaborative introduction. Uh, dear friends, now we are coming to business, and business is quality. So, I'm happy to see three of persons directly involved in the quality. Kottayam Arbetsala, if I'm correct. So, it is known for the producing the quality medicine. So, I hope I will not disappoint you by my lecture, and it will be come up with the what is the going on the global level, and what is the need we have to. We are not the inferior to other than any country like developed country. The only thing we have to implement the approach, and how. So the only thing what's going on the globally, we must keep eye on that, and we have to evolve our own method also. So globally, to ensure the any drug, next please, you need two things: drug and method. Then coming how. Then many questions coming in the process. So we have the drug, not only limited, lots of. India is the 12th biodiversity hotspot. So there is enormous raw material, and we can produce a number of medicines. Though we have a selected number of medicine in the Drug and Cosmetic book, authorized book, even larger number of proprietary medicines there. So you can produce a large number of. Do we have the confidence that our medicine, each and every batch is having the same or similar quality? Can we so not believe in a number? Because everything is accepted when you convert into number. 100%, 10%, 20%. It's not. Then you have to demonstrate how is this 100%. So if you are interested in the uniform quality of batch of medicine, if it is choice, then yes, this lecture will be of your use. Next, please. Quality starts from the raw material. You cannot ensure the quality of product at the finished product level. So, in a process chain, you have to ensure the quality at each and every. So here, I am going to discuss a methodology which is applicable from raw material to finished product, even in the process control also. Because if you are losing or not taking care of any step, even if you are using the good quality of raw material and not processing as per procedure, standard procedure, the end project will not be the of the desired quality. So you have to ensure the quality measures at all steps, from raw material selection to processing and the finished. Why it is challenging in the plant? The reason is complexity of our raw material. If you are handling simplest matrix, a single chemical, then it is easier. How? We know for conventional system medicine, take anti-malaria or drug, it's a chloroquine or artemisinin. You know that which is responsible for the action. You know how much amount is required for the therapeutic action. You know how much, how to make it stable. It will not degrade or deteriorate. Every information is available before you. So you can easily maintain the quality. What about the plants? Even we don't know how much quantity is actually responsible for the action. What is should be ensured for the desired reproduction? Even we are not aware how to make it stable, what is required during the storage or the processing, because during processing there are lots of factors we are going to affect. So even those are the challenges before us. Us means every person who is looking for the quality. So, how we can proceed? Next, please. Here is the complexity. We have chloroquine, one chemical. Bidania, one plant, one raw material. But how many chemicals are there? So, is it possible to each and every chemical identify and quantify? It is at least at this stage near to impossible. Maybe in future we might be in the position, but at least at this stage we are not. It means we are helpless. No, we can. How? Next. Only we are monitoring 4, 5, 6 signalites in the value because it is the major peaks we can. So for any plant, irrespective of their significance or correlation with the biological action, you treat a raw material is a assortment of chemicals. You just ensure the presence of those chemicals even without knowing their identity. Just to ensure it is your palm, there is no need you should call it thumb. You may call it a bump, but it should be in the palm. Then only it will become. So ensure the presence and absence of all maximum possible ingredient if you can. So debate on the how to select the marker should we not go further. Whatever the chemical you are able to quantify or identify, go for that. If it is you are able to identify it as responsible for therapeutic action, well and good. This will give you the more confidence in your research. Otherwise, suppose some minor peaks which is obviously available the measure are available. So if you are able to demonstrate these chemicals are present or absent in this amount in the raw material and also processing and the finished product, that's it. Don't even the debate is going on because it is a cumulative effect. It is not a one or two compound responsible for the biological action. So you have to ensure maximum possible chemicals in this your finished product or raw material. Next, and the compound I have given the only example of bithanolites. What does mean? Bidania only produce bithanolites. They produce all other compounds also. So how we can ensure? And next please. These compounds we have to ensure. Ensuring the assortment of the compounds and ensuring which is not required at all, adulterants or contaminants. Then it is the quality of your product or your. Once you have ensured the quality and is having the contaminants, it is not fit for use. So any material is fit for use, it is a quality. So there is a two things: ensure the quality and ensure which is not required, unwanted. And what is unwanted, what is wanted, we come to next. And if you are ensuring those things, it is a standardization. We have set the limits. It should not be which is unwanted. You cannot remove at all. But it is at what level it is not affecting the your health. It is not giving the adverse effect. You can tolerate. So, which is contaminants or unwanted is giving limits. And which is the upper limit. It's not minimum, upper limit. And which is required, it is a minimum. So, as current scenario, all these parameters are being considered in the standardization. Because of multilinguistic, we have the additional parameter of vernacular name. Otherwise, everything is the common. In the most of the pharmacopoeias, we have additional knowledge of the plants based on the Ayurvedic properties. So it is being taken into consideration, and these are the current scenario parameters that we covered in the Indian system medicine, the raw material dissemination. Next, please. So this is the common parameters to evaluate the all. One is required, one is not required. Not required is the biologicals, chemicals, and aflatoxins. Aflatoxins are the chemicals produced from the microbials. So we have to ensure contaminants or the biological contaminants, microbial load, which should be less than 10^5 per gram or something. So this is the area where you have to ensure the all parameters. Common parameters, we all are aware, physicochemicals and this. Now it's how to ensure the shelf life, how to ensure the safety of that product. Safety can easily ensure by the contaminants, monitoring contaminants. What about the shelf life? If any chemical assortment is changing, it means it's going to affect the intended biological effect. So you monitor the change in the chemical assortment. At what level it is giving the biological action, it is useful. Otherwise, it is not deteriorated, not useful. So by monitoring the chemicals present in your product in the same composition, in a conventional medicine also, they have given the band range of 10% access. If anything deteriorated up to 10% lower, 90%, 80%, some cases 20% window is there. It is a shelf life. So that period need to be evaluated just by the storage condition. In a different, because we know in the storage temperature and the humidity are the two major factors. So in a shelf life evaluation, your product is evaluated by the applying same methodology by storing the different temperature and humidity conditions. It is globally defined by ICH, and I think it is applicable in both, either in a traditional system medicine or the, it's a only tool or methodology which is using for the defining the shelf life. Next, please. So how we can define the presence or absence of chemical? This is qualitative. How much amount is present or absent? This is quantitative. For quality, if you go for the harmonized system of approach, it is a ISO 17025, under which testing of any material, whether a pure compound or metal or mineral or herb or soil, gold, anything, if you are going to test, it should comply 17025. And 17025 clearly mentioned it should have the method by which you are going to quantify. Method is requirement. So can we develop a method and use in the ensuring the quality of product? Yes, you can. If you are using for your own or in-house, no problem. If you are planning to sell in the market, then consumer rights coming into action. For your use, no guidelines, no thing is applied. Whatever you want, you can produce, cook, and eat. But if you want to sell and give to me, then our right is coming. I need a quality product. I need a safe. I need a effective.
This is the punchline of the
So then you become the more conscious, because why should you be in the litigation? Make sure that your product should be good quality, and so you need a method. This my only domain is the method development. So is any method developed by my own lab will be acceptable to you? You could doubt. Hey man, you are developing your method and ensuring how I can rely. Until unless it's someone third party is being validated or giving the assurance your whatever you're doing it is fit for use. So here is come in the method validation. So method validation, okay, third party will ensure by monitoring of some parameters laid down by the any agency or yourself. So those parameters coming under method validation parameter. Okay. But if any method is going for the recognition of the legal or applicable in the country where that rule is governed by that act or rule, then it is the responsibility of that agency to ensure there should be no deviation or the changes in the method. So how they proceed? They proceed method developed by one lab and validated or verified by group of laboratories. This is called ring test or that. So any test material is tested by the same method applying by the different lab, and range the results are within the range, not significantly different, then the method is being adopted by the agency which is responsible for the implementing in the country. For example, in our case, ASU&H is responsible for introducing any method in the quality standardization. IPC, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, for the conventional medicine. So that is called the multi-laboratory level. It doesn't mean you cannot. You have to. हाँ हाँ नहीं वो आपको उसमें जाएगा सेकेंडरी मेथड में जाएगा यू हैव टू publish it and adopt it. हो गया जब आपने पब्लिक डोमेन में किया you have published validated as per ICH guidelines, then it is okay until unless you are demonstrating in the matrix. Suppose you are analyzing curcumin in Haridra and analyzing curcumin in a Haridra, Haldi. These are two different things. If you are showing that Haridra should have the curcumin more than not less than 0.1%, the method applied for that should demonstrate the matrix of the Haridra, not Haldi only, because Haridra is having Haldi and other ingredients also. So here, one thing I especially mentioned in the light of 17025. Here you have the method developed for the Haldi. You do the method verification. No need to go all the chain of linearity, LOD, LOQ. No. Become the effect of the matrix more. So recovery from the Haridra of the curcumin will be the major concern. इन हाउस आप कर रहे हैं ना आपका तो अपने आप आएगा इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है नो प्रॉब्लम नहीं वो मोनोग्राफ में नहीं जाता मोनोग्राफ में मेथड शुड बी लीनियर शुड बी सेंसिटिव दैट डेटा इज नॉट गोइंग so method verification is matrix is different I given the example, just like haldi and handakan. Till date, there is no one technique is able to demonstrate the global fingerprint. Some has limitations, and so the phenomena of global fingerprint is coming where which is using the 2-3 technique in the connections. Then they are preparing making the global fingerprint. And unfortunately, false positive are coming more because of the database matching based on the only mass accuracy 0.004 ppm. So unfortunately, the database will give the only matching. So that is the lacuna. We are still facing the challenge in this. So that is only the result method is validated, and if applicable another, so you just verify. There are two terms: method validation and method verification. Okay. Next, please. Why should method validate? To be accepted globally, and it's a range. It's a reliability and accuracy accepted by the globally without any doubt or any possible error in the quantification. What does mean? Suppose you have quantified curcumin by HPTLC and also quantified by HPLC. Both instruments had the different limits. Sensitivity is different. So whenever your results are given by the techniques or the reference by which method you have quantified, quantitation is always linked with the method. And you have to validate. Why? Because non-standard methods means which are not validated by the participation of the more than 2-3 laboratories or the single laboratory. Then these methods should be or out of scope. Just I mentioned that quantification of the ashwagandha, bitronolide in ashwagandha or ashwagandha rest. So if you are going to using the apply the method published for the monograph in the extract, and same method you are going to implement in the ashwagandha rest, you have to validate or verify particularly for the recovery point. Next, please. So whenever you go for the testing of the your product testing as per the ISO 17225, you have the method. Method should be validated, or one word, non-standard method means method mentioned in the pharmacopoeia, no need to validate. Recovery in the quantification. You are spiking the later stage. You are not spiking the herb. Yes. आपका पेस्टिसाइड एनालिसिस करते हो कितना परसेंट आता है? फार्मूला में आप कभी रिकवरी यूज नहीं करते हो, लेकिन जब आप वैलिडेट करते हो तो एमयू देनी पड़ती है आपको, उसमें वो सबका पैरामीटर उसमें आ जाता है. Process, whatever you are demonstrating, is it that considering the all fact or not? It is able. You are suppose extracting not caffeine. I have kept my ring made of gold there. You are putting and extracting 100% out. If I am putting aluminum gold chloride or M chloride, can you extract 100% from there? Something is retained, and whatever you are estimating, you are demonstrating that it is 100% coming. So matrix effect you have to demonstrate. In pesticide analysis, particularly where matrix effect has the largest impact, separate guidelines is being followed, not ICH or US. European guidelines is being followed. Alag method. रिकवरी का फार्मूला में रिकवरी यूज करना पड़ता है. So standardized method, you just verify. Standardization means method mentioned in the any pharmacopoeia, because pharmacopoeia is taking based on the secondary source. Secondary source, SCI journals or some reputed labs are being producing. That is the secondary source. So they are taken. You just only need to verify it. No need to go for all the parameters of the verification. Otherwise, you have to validate. Next, please. And validation means method validate means ensuring fit for use. Nothing. Just fit for use purpose means you are applying this method and it will give the result accurate. Only additional thing in academics we do, we always giving the less importance to this aspect. Fit for the purpose. Fit for purpose means it's coming whenever we are doing the comply to this, meeting the requirement of. Suppose in our pharmacopoeia, Vidania expect Vidania raw material should have more, not less than 0.3% lignolite, total lignolite. This is the requirement. Now you have estimated and results are giving 0.28. Then how you can show that there your results are meeting the requirement or not? Results are in the bottom. What will you do? There is coming the role of this fit for purpose and decision rule. There's different method, different chapter. So all these is covered in the method is coming for the validation. Up to what extent you have to do this, we have listed. If method in any pharmacopoeia, just do the verification. No need to go for the detailed study. Next, please. So there are so many. If you are anyone is involved in the method analysis or something, you might be aware for the without terminology. Is it anybody doing the research or analysis? Are you involved in the analysis or ensuring the quality? Okay, so you will be familiar with these words, terminology. And as a QA, I think you are also aware with the 17025 requirement. So applicability, I said in the earlier, whether method can be fit for the analyzing same other product based on the same ingredient or not. So you have to realize all these parameters need to be evaluated, and globally there is no harmonized guidelines. Mainly ICH is followed by the rest of the countries, rest of the world, except US and the European pharmacopoeia. They have their own guidelines, more or less same parameters. The only thing acceptance criteria is different. Some agency is saying signal to noise 1:3. Some agency is showing 1:5. There is not much. Brazil is having their own guidelines. India is following ICH because rest of the world is following ICH. Next. So applicability, up to what range we can quantify, because each and every instrument technique has the limitations. Some can estimate up to ppm level, some can estimate ppb level. So that it is things applicable, because one thermometer is having up to 100, one is having 200. So you cannot measure like this. Even in the least square, some is having the 0.2 margin and some is at 0.5. So least count is also having the significance. Next, please. Selectivity. Selectivity means whatever you are going to estimate, the same thing you are going to, because curcumin is yellow color. Bismethoxy and dimethoxy is also yellow color. So how on the basis of just intensity at measuring at 225, 425, you cannot estimate curcumin in the honey. That will be the sum of curcumin, dimethoxy, curcumin, and curcumin bis-dimethoxy. So all curcuminite will be represented at 425. So by spectrophotometer, if somebody is giving the total curcumin, the statement is wrong. They are estimating the sum of all the curcuminite, heptane, terpene, terpenites. Selectivity, differentiating between similar type of compounds, curcumin and the curcumin, that is selectivity. Whatever you are estimating the same thing, not other than that. The way is called the selectivity. Next. Then up to what range you can quantify? You know, we have the balance, laboratory level balance, up to 220 gram. And the least is the 10 milligram. So with that, you cannot accurately measure more than 220 and less than 10 milligram. Because this equipment has the limitations or its range that can be covered. So we must have the, we are from so anyway, you have missed, and my presentation will be with them, so you can have this presentation. Are you from quality person or your background? Okay. So I think she will be more familiar with this our terminology. Next will be of your interest because that is going in the regulatory and so that will be of more interest. So any equipment has a capacity and that will range because in the same capacity that shows the similar impact. Just say by the very vague term, there is the balance based on the native, their angle. 1 gram this much, just double angle will be on the 2 gram. So it is a linear response. Whatever you are putting, it is giving the same. So that should be the one of the requirement of your method. Next, please. Next. Yeah. How we can perform? Whenever you are estimating, as per statistical requirement, at least 6 level of calibration are must. As per AOAC, ICH. ICH recommending 5, AOAC recommending 6. As in the earlier I said, there is a guidelines by difference. So ICH is recommending 5 data point in triplicate, AOAC recommending 6 data point in a triplicate. Because whenever you are developing, you must be aware of what is going in the globally. So accordingly, you can say we have developed method following ICH guidelines or AOAC guidelines. Okay. And what should be the point? How we can decide what will be those 5 points? So you just first you must have aware that this glass is having 150 ml, suppose, and we need to put 150 ml. The capacity by cylinder by which we should use and pour in the water 150 ml. So 150 minus half 75 and again add 75 225. So at least our cylinder should be from minimum that can estimate the 50 ml, but 75 ml and 250 ml. Then we will be able to pour accurate in this 150 ml. From 200 we cannot pour accurately. So that is the 150, 50% higher, 50% lower. That needs to be taken. Next, this is called the heterogeneity. In Excel, this is given the how to calculate ANOVA is being used, and deviations you can use for the I said 6 data point and triplicate. So triplicate variation, they are beyond your control. The same sample is being injected or put it in the machine 3 times, it is giving 3 different references. So this is beyond your control because it is not the concentration prepared because of that. This is the limitation of that equipment at particular that point. And the whole range is being covered, and it is that's why we're giving the sensitivity of your system or machine under Hubbard's condition. So by this simple methodology, you can follow this sensitivity. Next. Here in the different case, I mentioned matrix effect, and it is being evaluated by spiking the known amount in the sample. Suppose in aflatoxin, we have mentioned aflatoxin B1 should not be more than 2 ppb, and B1, B2, G1, G2, all sum should not be more than 5 ppb. So it is a very low concentration. Suppose, and your system is capable of estimating 0.01 ppb. How you can estimate accurately? One sample, which is the having the natural concentration, add known amount to it, extract it out, estimate. Certainly, it will be the higher than whatever you added. Okay? Then it is the your extraction efficiency. Here, its extraction spiking method play a role where the content is lower and you are adding known compound, known amount, and again extract. Next, please. So, in bioanalysis, you have to demonstrate. Bioanalysis means plasma and urine, blood. There you cannot take a risk of any lesser amount. For example, hormones. So there you have to ensure the linearity with the sample matrix also. Otherwise, in general, we use simple neat solvent, nil chemical, which is we are going to estimate into our herb or the divide product. If we are estimating morphine in the opium, there is no need to go for the with the matrix. But if we are going to monitor the person consumed the opium and how much morphine in his blood, then the method should be able to demonstrate in blood also. So there the complexity is higher grade. So same method need to be additional requirement to fulfill. Condition will be the same. Everything will be the same. The additional requirement is the demonstrated in the that biological matrix. Next, please. Trueness is called variation which are beyond control, biasness because of the instruments. So those are being run bias, laboratory bias, person bias, instrument bias. I have analyzed one sample, another person is analyzed. Following the same methodology, result will not be the same exactly. It bound to happen deviation, but deviation should be within limit. And validated method of pharmacopoeia consider all these variations. Even any person will analyze the variation will be that. So that is called the biasness estimation. Okay. So biasness estimation can be estimated by different methodology, laboratory, method, run or by equipment, man, and the method. Next, please. So another method by applying the authenticated CRM. If you don't, if you have single machine, single operator, it means you have the limitation. Still, it doesn't mean it restricts you to not to develop method. You can, but you must use the CRM to demonstrate whatever your result, they are traceable to international. because somebody has already done that exercise on the prime material and that chemical. So this concept is lacking, and we learn when we are going for the NAV accreditation. Until unless our lab is not accredited, we will not learn. So then we learn what is the significance of the reference material and how it is required. Just to, because one lab is not cannot have the 3, 4, 5 HPLCs or the 3 or 7 operators, but they have one HPLC and one operator. By ensuring the CRM, that can be ensured. This is the significance of the CRM in the ensuring a method is fit for use. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah, precision accuracy, two terms. What is the true value? You are able to reach to true value. This is the accuracy. And irrespective of, suppose this is having the 1 liter and you are one time estimating 1.002, 1.003, 1.005. Okay, but I have filled this one 750 and you are estimating 1 point something. You are not doing wrong. You are doing precise but not accurate. So accuracy, precise are two things. The difference between the estimates is the precision, and difference between true value to estimate is the accuracy. So what is the requirement of your testing? Your value should be the accurate and accurate to the true value. Then method is the called a fit for use. Next, please. Here is the recovery. I have already discussed the recovery by spiking as an example of the aflatoxins. So you can easily do for this method business. Next. Here is the range. What is the range need to be analyzed? I have discussed the 5 level and the 150%. Any value in the range of 50% to 150%. So for the recovery, you can use. Next. And detection limits. This is called the capacity of the receipt. Suppose you have the material, you have the task estimate gold in the 7 class, and you have AS. Can you? Answer is yes or no, both. How? Yes, if you are taking care of your sample preparation into account. Your equipment is only capable of measuring the ppm level, and your 7 class is having ppt of femtomole level. Then you have to large amount of a sample to make it in the range of estimation of your equipment. Otherwise, if you are doing ICQS, just 1 gram sample with a sufficient. In that case, you need to 20 gram or something 100 gram to process and extract it and then. So how to make? There are both ways. Nothing, technology is not restricting to you. You have to think how to we can go ahead. So any variations I said earlier, that's depending on the agency, validation and guidelines. Somebody is showing 3.33, one is showing 5 times or 10 times. So it depending on the agency, validation has been performed. Next. Next. Sensitivity, how much amount, minimum amount can be effectively quantified, and it is coming with the slope of the calibration curve, because that is not your control, beyond your control, because it's error of the instrument. Next. So ruggedness, then here to ensure what are the parameter may alter our analysis. You are preparing buffer, then pHR buffer may enter. If you are preparing two solvent are mixing, their composition may change. At temperature you are doing, temperature rise may change. Whatever the parameter, which are probable to affect your analysis, you do the deliberate changes. Suppose method is saying as 30 degree and your lab is not capable of doing the 30 degree, only 27 degree or something. So what you do? Plus minus 2 or plus minus 3, what effect is going on the analysis? If you are demonstrating that, then method is called the ruggedness. And this is the requirement of USP. USP is showing the robustness, terminology is the different, and what they are required, that is the same. So ICS showing ruggedness and USP is saying robustness. Next. So this is the only thing is the validation fit for the use. 73025 is nothing, is required any method that should be demonstrate all these parameters I mentioned as well as fit for use. Next please. And how you can ensure? Here coming the effect of the matrix. I have given the 3 examples: morphine, hydrocarbon, as well as the curcumin. So those are the having you have to demonstrate it separately in a different matrix. The analysis of heavy metal in water cannot be applied to estimate heavy metal in our raw material or the product because matrix is different. Here matrix is very simple. Next please. Then this is the requirement of ISO 17025. Even you are going to pharmacopoeial method, you have also ensure what is the uncertainty of your total exercise. Then you analyze where are the sources of error. My reference material, the machine I am using, type A, the steps weighing I am using, I am dissolving in something, volume I am using, whatever the step you are taking, those are all contributing their uncertainty, their error. You are estimating those total error, propagation of sum of error, then it is called the uncertainty. This is the requirement required under 17025. It is not requirement of any pharmacopoeia, worldwide, even USP and European pharmacopoeia. But even USP is going for the niche certification like our NABL certification, they have to demonstrate. So this is the one thing is the higher level of that. And it is only required when you are implementing under your ISO, otherwise it's not required at all. Next please. So this is how we can estimate systematic error. Next. Here sampling, sample preparation, extract, how you are extracting, then how you are analyzing. Okay. This is all coming under type A. Next please. So in single lab and the standard method. Standard method means method something is you are taking from the any pharmacopoeia. They are supposed to do for all the fulfill all these conditions. So you cannot doubt on the apex agency. So you have to follow. Otherwise, in a single lab, you have to perform all these steps: pre-validation, full validation, and then whatever is standardization. Standardization coming only effect when you are going for international recognized like ISO. Otherwise, it is not required at all. And that cover the measurement uncertainty, nothing else. All the parameters similar to additional requirement of M. Next, please. So these are some work even before my lab was not NABL accredited or ISO. We were least bothered for the M. We have never considered this parameter. Now our each and every publication coming with the ISO 725. we want to update up to the current regulatory and its international standard. So we are working the same area. So these are some of our recent and past work on the medicine plant quality. Next, please. Next. Next. So using HPLC, आप बढ़ाते रहिए. HPLC, HPTLC, LCMS, all these methods we are preparing and publishing in the AOAC or different methods. So because any apex body pharmacopoeia of any country is rely on the publications coming on the SCI journal. As a scientific organization, it's our duty to produce, to develop a method which can be utilized globally. Thank you. Any question on the method requirement or anything? It's open, and I would love to take questions. Exactly. Depend on the instrument and technique. Every technique has its own limitations. This is called the sensitivity. Can you name any particular compound? Yeah. Actually, it claimed long back from the Jamnagar. Cow urine are in the bowl. And they have demonstrated 100 or 500 liter of urine. They have evaporated and
Thank you very much, Mrs. Pant. She is my old colleague, and I'm really thankful to her for such a nice introduction, which I don't deserve. The topic today is why CGMP and latest amendments in the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. You know very well, recently, in last month, there were a lot of amendments in the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. That I will going to give you the copy of that so that you can go through easily. But the first is why CGMP. It is very clear that the government has a responsibility to safeguard the public health on one side and to see that the industry goes in the right direction. This is the main theme. If you remember this, then you'll understand the whole topic. The government has the responsibility to safeguard the public health on one side and to see that the industry goes in the right direction. And that is why there are certain rules, certain acts, and that is why we have Drugs and Cosmetics Act. For a simple example is putting helmet on the road, two-wheelers, is an act. But going on the left side of the road is not an act. It is advisory. So there's a difference between act and the advisory. If you don't follow the act, there is a punishment. But if you follow advisory, it is good. If you don't follow advisory, the government is not going to punish you. Secondly, the only real mistake is the one from which we don't learn anything. ये याद रख लीजिए आपको. The only real mistake is the one from which we don't learn anything. And that is why in CGMP, what is there, whatever mistakes we find, whatever mistakes we observe, that is included in the GMP. And that is why the SOPs are mentioned. You see, the SOP is the backbone, standard operating procedure. And that is why it is clearly said that SOP should be written in a language which the employees can understand. SOP is not a showpiece. SOP is not a showpiece. SOP is actually the standard operating procedure, and which person who is doing, he should understand. I have seen many factories, they have put the SOPs. If you ask the worker what is written, साहब पता नहीं वो साहब लिख के गए हैं. So that is why, secondly, if you really want to be very sure that SOP is being implemented properly, then you have to be very sure that person who is working is understanding that first. Secondly, when he does it, you ask him in his language and then you modify it. Because, if it is not being done it is not being, practiced in true spirit, it has nothing to do. So that is why, it is very important that, the SOP is the backbone. And in CGMP, the simple thing is there, there is a kappa. In FD, there is a kappa, corrective action and preventive action. Sometimes, to err means ERR, is a human being. Everyone commits a mistake, but foolish repeats the mistake. We have to understand, everyone commits a mistake, but foolish repeats the mistake. So it is very important for us to understand, if you committed a mistake, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. You can, but how fast you correct your mistake so that it doesn't multiply to the final product. And secondly, the biggest thing in the homeopathy or in the Ayurveda, Unani, Ayush system is the thing that everything is controlled by Drugs and Cosmetics Act except purchase of raw material. Raw material is not regulated. So it is the responsibility of the manufacturer to see whether the raw material is genuine or not. That we are going to discuss later on after some, after some time. I do not want to bombard immediately. This I want to make it a very, very lively session so that you enjoy the session and you all know basically. And secondly, as you have seen, the analysis is very important. JMP में भी जो है ना, earlier if you see, there used to be a production department and quality control department, nothing else. Now they have started QA department in between. They assure from raw material to finished product that everything is going well. For example, there are 10 steps. At all the steps, there will be QA department. Earlier, what they used to do? They used to test at the last stage. If the product fails, you have to destroy the whole batch. Now, the same thing, if you see in the colleges, they have adopted our school monthly test, quarterly test, and final test. In our time, when we were in 60s, when we studied, we used to have only one exam, final exam, either pass or fail. But here now, you have a monthly exam, quarterly exam, so that the teacher monitors, so that if there is anything to be done extra or any error to be rectified, so that is the quality assurance. So the quality assurance department has very important role to play, and that is why now above QA there has come IPQA, and as you all know, the GMP is there, the CGMP is there, and there is a quality management system, QMS. Quality management system is one step ahead of the GMP. So these are the basic things I do. Why GMP? See, let us understand why GMP. If there is no GMP, nobody will follow certain rule. For example, you see any good sweet shop. You are from the south, okay? You go to any which state? Which state? Kerala. Okay. So if you go to Kerala and you have you go to Kerala, you go to Tamil Nadu, you go to Andhra. The summer taste, idli taste is different. You see, Gujarat, Dhokla, ours is different, this is different because they have certain SOPs. If there is no SOP, the GMP ka purpose hai, the very important purpose of GMP is quality. First, if you ask anyone, what is the purpose of GMP? The answer is quality. The second is, what is that? Consistency. That is very important. If there is no consistency, see, you can make good idli one time, but it is not sure that you will make idli all the time same. For example, I will give you a very simple example. I'm going to make it very lightly. You know that we make Satnarayan ka prasad. उसमें सवा पाव डालते हैं. So if you ask someone to make Satnarayan ka prasad, it will have the same taste because there is SOP. But if you ask 10 ladies to make halwa, ashira, what you call, the taste is different. Someone will put more ghee, someone will put more, sugar, someone will put more something like that. So the purpose of GMP is first is quality, second is consistency, and third is very important. Third is nobody will tell you assurance, because you cannot test all the sample together. Suppose you are making 1,000 bottles, you cannot test 1,000 bottles. You cannot test 1,000 bottles. So you should have something to be sure that yes, all are same. Why? Because you have a certain quality management system. You have certain system, because you see, it is always said, system is always bigger than the individual. It is the system which works. It is not the individual. That is why the good organizations, they try to develop a system. People, if you see our football team, you see football, Ronaldo. Have you heard the name of Ronaldo? Huh? He always, scores. But behind him, the whole team, they give the ball to the level by the time he shoots. So there is a coordination. So this is very important for us to understand that how the system is made. If everyone thinks that I have to score a goal, then they will not, win. Same way in cricket. If everyone thinks that I have to make a century, there are certain bowlers, certain, pace bowlers. And in long back, in 70s, 80s, when we used to have a 5 days cricket match. So one day, Wali Umrikar, he used to just bat. So how to kill the whole day? That was also style. So the system was different at the time. Today's system is different. So with the time, the CGMP has come. Current good. Now I will tell you something. GMP earlier, the first GMP came in 1973. Schedule T. Schedule T came in 1973. Then it came in 2003. free. And for your information, maybe by the time you go back, or maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow, they are going to notify the guest notification of the latest Schedule T and Schedule M1. It is already in the press. I just talked to the advisor yesterday only. He told me that it is in the press. As you had the notification, as I told you, in September 2024 and October 2024 notification which has come. I will give you a copy of that, and it is in my presentation also. So that notification is coming. So CGMP basically, earlier what happened, there was no control. You can make, if you have seen Haridwar, Rishikesh, or there was no control. In a room, they used to make medicine. Now, what has happened? That room was contaminated. I remember in 1985, I was asked to deliver lecture. Dr. Ahmed and Dr. Ansari Sahab PLI mein the. He invited me to deliver lecture on GMP, and I was what to talk because there was nothing in GMP. So I just saw that it was written potable water to be used. So that was enough for a microbiologist to elaborate, because water containing E. coli, Salmonella, Pseudomonas can create havoc. Secondly, usually we have asavas and aristas, asavas. These get fermented, and if it is contaminated, there can be some toxins also. That is why plants, the WHO, if you see the WHO raw material, they have seen that they should not have much, microbial load. They should feed some aflatoxins and all that. So these aflatoxins and all that, they create a lot of problems. So it is very important for us to know that what are these things. So then what they did, they started that using purified water. Then they made different sections. Now then they made different facilities. They used to have only, only one koi bhi container pe aap bana rahe ho. Now they say 304 SS. 304 is a good quality stainless steel which doesn't corrode. The basic purpose was this: the corrosion should not take place. If the corrosion takes place, if something comes out from the container, that is going to contaminate. So that contamination problem started. So they said, the container should be such that it should not leach out anything which will contaminate our blood. Now, air is the biggest source of contamination. If you see here, now you see the hair of the NCR, you must have, that is the worst. Now they say that there should be a 5-micron filter. That filter will clear the dust particles and the microbes, basically. Secondly, what happens when we have a controlled environment? Controlled environment means where there is a 5-micron filters are there, AHUs are there, air handling unit. Now they call it HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning system. Now you go to you see, long back when we used to go to the heater in 70s, 80s, we used to sit in the balcony, but after that, uske baad bhi headache hota tha. There used to be headache when we used to go to see the movie. But today, you go to the mall, you spend whole day, but you don't feel exhausted. The simple reason is, for example, here we are sitting, we have ACs. The same air is coming, going. But the carbon dioxide level of this room is increasing after 3 hours, 4 hours. If 20% sit, the carbon dioxide level will be high. So it is going to create a headache. And in AHU, what happens? They circulate the air and they throw out the air outside, and they again, take out the air from the outside, remove the dust, then pass through the 5-micron filter. That is the, specialty of the AHU. And why we say HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning system? Because in north, the temperature is very high, at low in winter. And in north, in Rajasthan, the temperature is very high. So you should have an ambient temperature, 25, 27, I have seen, long back, I went to Calcutta to see the factory. They started using gloves. Earlier, the concept was, standardization was not there. they used to use the gloves. So I was also happy to see that he is taking some care. But after half an hour, when I saw, when he took his hand like this, जो धार होती है ना पसीने की, so it fell down. It is all contamination. So that is why the concept and the CGMP, they started developing this thing. Secondly, then the centralization, hand. Earlier, they say alcohol. Alcohol is not good. is there. So it's very important that we should know who is lending, for what it is lending, and purpose. And store में tickets जो है ना पहले जो Amazon में था they didn't keep it on the floor. Now after pellet, IGP pellet. Earlier there was they keep it on the floor. Secondly, there should not be any way by which the lizard or any very small is like she will see. But now they have split it where they should now, whether the system is working, products meet the pharmacopoeial specification. How you can see the pharmacopoeial specification? Product will be effective for the intended use. This is the intended use is the word which is used by WHO and USFDA. For example, it is to be used by oral. Then you know it should have finished. If it is a tablet, now if you want to make a tablet, tablet you can't make it like this. You have to make first resolution. Now, when you make resolution, you have media. Recently, you have seen that people have media. Good like that. But question is, in allopathy, those who are using only one product, allopathy क्या होता है? Either they are making sodium and paracetamol. वो दिन भर उनके कोई चलते रहते हैं. हमारे यहाँ इन्वेंट्री की है, के ड्रग्स हैं, जो we cannot use it. So by seeing or by knowing a consultant, they make full of there is some evidence जो हम समझा. But evidence does not serve our purpose in our R&D. Rapid vector design that works. Because here quantity required is more, and then वो जो पजामा होता है, cloth, it has to wash. You cannot wash because they are using the same product, same day for a whole month, so they don't need to wash. So that is why secondly, as I told you, the filter here, the laminar flow here. There are vertical laminar flow, vertical laminar flow. Now, when you have to sampling or the thing, so if you take vertical laminar flow, what will happen if there is a contamination? It is going to so that is why it is important for us to know which type of laminar flow. For example, if you want to filling, you are using the filling, you cannot have a vertical laminar flow. For filling, you always use the filling. And that is why secondly, laminar flow has got the type of filter. The filter gets soaked. When we did PhD in 70s, we were not having the laminar flow. We used to come in the morning at 4 o'clock and used to inoculate 300 stars. The simple reason is the dust gets settled in the night. The more people move around, there is a turbulence up there. And the turbulence up there is there, the bacteria starts moving. And that is why it is said in GMP and CGMP. Now the CGMP latest, only persons who are those who work in tablets can have entry in the circles. You get started. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Same way, the person who is working in the tablet will only go in the 7th section. He cannot go to the 12th section. The person who is working in the injection will only go to why? To have a less movement. The more the movement of the people, the more the movement is there. And that is why it is said that you should have less injection in the uniform flow. It is not that the person will be there again will back. So more the movement, more the better. So in CGP they have taken this step and they said that it should be such that there should be uniform flow. That it should be raw material, processing, packing, secondary packing, and tertiary packing, and all. And then in the latest CGP what they have done, they have 9 material entries in this. And that it is just a barrier. It does not allow the air from outside because if the air pressure is less. If you open the door, if the air pressure is less, the outside air will come down. So usually, what you call the controlled air, the word used in CJP is controlled air. This is not a controlled air. Controlled air is one where you have access of air through a long pipe. Secondly, the pressure of this is higher, 1.5 pascal more than the outer. So that the moment you open it, the good air will go out, the poor air will come, will not come. This is very simple. So these are the basic things of the CJP. And basically what happens is, more you work, more you involve, more you have decisions, more you have. But in EMP, it is EMP implantation. People think there was a time, there was a people when the people spend a lot of money on machinery, building. There was a time when people spend a lot of money on machinery, building, equipment, and all that. That thing is over. Now in CJP, they say, especially in Armenia and Competi, as you know, commercial is that raw material is the biggest part. Here you get a what you call, the unified compound. And here you get a mixture, the plant. And you do not know what are the things. I will give you an example. Lord sulfidation. Reserve is there. But in Competi, we use Lord sulfidation. There is a plant, Lord Vampudia, which has got 6 times more than the reserve in the Lord sulfidation. But we can't use it. The persons who are using except they are see, there is a factory, there is a industry, and this is in herbal extract, there, for example, Hyoscyamus niger. Hyoscyamus is there, but the most of the 20 times Hyoscyamus is there. Now, can we use the other species? No, we cannot use it. The Homeopathy are there, they are immediately speaking. No, we cannot use it. That is why it is the biggest problem. That is why the manufacturer in either using, because everything is controlled except purchase of raw material. So it is the responsibility of the manufacturer to identify. You don't get COP, COA, federal raw material. अब आपको बताता हूं example. Doctor को example करते हैं चैलेंज को करते हैं. There is a budget for building. Budget experience. In hydrogen, hydrogen can be this can be very only and the other if you see the so whatever you say, if you see the UV, because HPI, the UV pattern is there. The UV pattern is same. TLC is almost same. Then if that for us, you have to start with microscopy, organoleptic. I will use another number. I can bet 99% if you go, you will get polyethylene. And I have not the whole thing. Vitamin C, 7.2 नहीं है, main thing vitamin C है, that's complicated. But again, if you remember, our Radi's Nani, they used to boil with calcium. पूरे पानी से, to fix the calcium absorption. अभी तो पानी से धोकर so what I say that it is very important for us to understand what we are doing, how we are doing. Again, there was an example. Yeah. देखिए शर्ट के चलाते मतलब अभी मैंने देखा बहुत कुछ है उन्होंने शर्ट का ट्रिगर बनाया शर्ट in all the things of but there some of people are they are trying to find out whether shirk is there interrupted with the shirk हाँ and शर्ट की जगह पे आपको मैंने एंड कुछ नहीं आइए दिखाओ नहीं नहीं आएगा अब तो जानवर नहीं ना अगर तो टैक्सी है गलती जो है लीफ है ज्यादा 5.8 5.8 की very important. whatever you do, you have to write and document properly and prepare the center of the system. Otherwise, you cannot practice same method to consistency. The GMP, everything says quality and consistency. And the US everything says reliability. The reliability will only come when you have to. So these are right in that प्रधानमंत्री कहाँ पे गृहमंत्री कहाँ पे लगे जगत सिस्टम मुझे बस केवल नहीं था लेकिन इसकी सिस्टम ये नहीं कि आज हमारे पहले मान दिया हमारे दिया और नेक्स्ट डे परेशान तो सिस्टम विल बी डेवलप व्हेन यू हैव अब ये तो आई डोंट नो पहले जमाने में ये वो सारा सरकार तो चीजें आती थी ना सारा में खोल करके उसको रखते थे उदाहरण अरे पूरा रहता जो भी आता है तो दैट थिंग इज नॉट अप आजकल लोग सब इससे ज्यादा बोल रहे हैं कि वो लाना में पूरी आउटडेटेड वाला तो दिस इज वन थिंग दैट इस तरह से आप काम कर रहे हो सो दैट देयर शुड नॉट बी चांसेस ऑफ एनी एरर इन द एसओपी अगेन दोस यू आर रेगुलेटरी रेगुलेटरी होते हैं ना ये they don't see anything. They just ask, show me that. SOP से बदल जाता है जैसे जन्मभूमि होती है ना उसको SOP में क्या चाहिए कि कंपनी क्या करनी चाहिए and this is why SOP should be such same with our ISO GLP we have to same with how there are no SOP help in the big yeah. Lot of dust happens. You see that lot of dust will be generated. Now there is a CMP model where the dust is extracted out immediately. So the dust does not come out. So that way you can put it in the SOP that you can schedule the things to the PLP model. Because dust creates a problem to the other system. Dust creates a problem to the other system. And you can see the growth. You know, काम करते हैं ना सवेरे काले वाले काम को वाइट वाले करते हैं because all the dust is capital metals so this how the dust extracted is important and what is more important you know what I was telling you today process by the so you get this thing but if you have any problem you can ask me anytime all right this amendment you know 14/5/2024 लेटेस्ट अमेंडमेंट है उसके बाद अभी दिसंबर में आया है एक अमेंडमेंट जिसमें अथॉरिटी लिटरेचर और होमियोपैथी एंड लोअर कॉस्ट उसका आया है दिसंबर में एकदम ये इसका हाँ ये दे दो Secondly, very important thing is guidelines for the respect of biomedical. पहले क्या होता था कहीं जाके ठीक है और जब 2016 में तो आपका बायोमेडिकल जिसका मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम आ गया सेंट्रल पॉलिटिकल बोर्ड this is very important for anyone government that you cannot show any waste chemical of the laboratory or factory using the guide. You have to make it proper. Now, so This is very important for you to understand. 1964 में पहली बार उन्होंने वो किया था और अभी यूके जो है उसमें ने एनिमल वर्ड डाल दिया वेटनरी earlier it was only for human being medical for where they make it think that it should be for veterinary purpose. So it is given in Ayurveda. The Ayurvedic tradition में अच्छा Ayurvedic tradition is given in that this is given in the rule. So this is there is because it is in the rule that is not a separate DPA and it can in the act now again the problem is at the higher level. They see Ayurveda is bigger in this. But one thing is there, every system has got its own. I started my career from ITPL history, where we have done some together. But I will tell you, today day, when I today day, I used to be the super learner. And it was so effective. It used to be so effective. बच्चे चाहते थे मैं भी यहाँ से आ रहा हूँ उससे भी आ रहा था USFD में. If there is any deviation, or you are changing any pharmacy में, or you are saying any new code, तो आपको फिर से पूरा आपको validity अपनी study में देखिए, validity is nothing but a scientific study of any process. If you can prove scientifically of any process, it means your process or your either your lab work or your factory is valid. तो validation का दूसरा गोली है. पहले तो ये कि sure, yes, हमें क्या करना है. For example, आप घर में खाना बनाते हैं. सब भूलते हैं लोग, पहले जाके let the steam go come out from the nozzle. Then put the when you put you allow the steam to go out, then there is saturated steam. Saturated steam at 15 pound pressure and temperature of 50 degrees. ऊपर में वो खाने को होता है. आप इसको दाल पर बनाओगे तो एकदम temperature 100 takt. But in a vessel, when there is complete steam, it will be a when it is होती है ना, it is a 15 pound pressure per square inch. The temperature 150 degrees. And if there is a mixture of steam and air, ये लोग क्या करते हैं थोड़ा बात होगा देखते हैं in that because the air is also so when like say let the steam come out. When the steam comes out, there is no air. Then you put the vessel. Then when you put it out, then you put it out. So you have to validate the system. If you do not validate, you will not get. Then you say there are पानी आटा या छोले खाते हैं. So simple thing, simple theory. Some of the things you have to validate.